Hello everyone, this is Venus Kalita here. I have taken off my maid outfit and I told you I'd get up to some hijinks. I got my little puppy wuppy here with me. and this is baby Kane. And we're gonna go wandering around the Wylie House online since I'm a virtual presence. And this is a virtual tour. And it's a very old house and presented by Indiana University team. They've got this free Wylie House, and I wanted to go straight to the attic because originally I thought, since I'm doing a deep clean today, maybe I should head to the attic. Now I've got my ghost hunting version of the Alice box here, and it says John. Hello John, how are you today? Are you the man in this portrait here in the lobby? Is this your home? My name is Venus Kalita. I only want to invite the presences that are of good spirit and good intention, that they're good. Are you a human spirit? Or a guardian angel, perhaps? Was this your home? Are you John? I'm here with my little doggy Poggy. We're gonna start moving through, and I thought we'd go straight to the attic. Main staircase leads from the front entry hallway up to the landing of the second floor. So let's just look at this landing. Isn't it beautifully painted? It's beautifully painted with the lifestyle of country living in the 1800s. Gorgeous rooms. You know I love these gorgeous rooms. Oh, there's a registry. And a land acknowledgement. The Wylie Museum wishes to acknowledge and honor the Miami, Delaware, Potawatomi, and Shawnee people. Ooh, that's very interesting. And there is a Luke. Hello, Luke. So Luke and John, two names straight from our Gospels. Look at the beautiful plants. This entryway is so happy and inviting and beautiful. Luke, are you the man in this picture? Hello, William. President Andrew Wylie portrait. We're now aware of 8 paintings that exist of President Wylie. Most of these are somewhere in another museum. I think they've locked certain doors. Love the clock. So if John or Luke or William want to accompany us on this tour, oh, it's not letting me go up. I guess we're gonna go. I don't know if we will make it to the attic. Not through here. Wow. Bedroom right on the main floor. Maybe this was in the older days, in the 1800s. It might have started as a main house, like a main square, and then been built up over time. And I don't think she would have let her petticoats be shown, but those laces are very beautiful. And it opens right up into the parlor. That's unusual to me. I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm thinking of the Pioneer Village in Toronto. And yeah, the Stong family did have a living room and then a door to the bedroom, but it wasn't a sliding door. Like, I would imagine one of these would have been the parlor for the women and one would have been for the men if it was a sliding door. And we're seeing some knitting here by the fire, a quilt, things from the 1800s. This would have kept the family warm. And I do like the quilt racks too, to show the wells, their wash basin, set up like Pioneer Villages. Love that little piano. That's his picture. Just want to know about the piano. Piano forte, music played an important role in the Wylie House. That's wonderful to hear piano music from the 1795 Broadway and Sons. Wow, that's so interesting. And the picture, Richard Wylie's painting. Richard Dennis Wylie, 1841 to 1861, was the eldest son of Theophilus and Rebecca Wylie. All right. We see modern things like thermostats today. Actually, thermostats play a good role because in order to preserve a lot of older things, museums now also keep collections in very controlled temperatures. Let's see what this is. The Wylie tea set. So this really was their tea set. They really did drink from this. Isn't that cute? Although I suspect this is a children's table. They had to sit separate. I don't know. And I like this, whatever this is. Of course, I love the piano. That looks pretty. Ooh, mirror. Ooh. And it's got some rust in there. Okay, I don't see anything in there. If you guys see something that I don't see, hello viewer, welcome in. We're doing a little exploration of the Wylie House. It's in the United States. I want to know about this piano. Square grand piano. The museum acquired its 1850 square grand piano from a donor in 20. Okay, and it's fully restored, so they can really use it if they have someone that knows how to play it, which I think is wonderful when you have someone in the family who can play music. Ooh, another mirror. Faith. Was it a girl named Faith that played that piano, or to have faith? Because so far I've seen 2 gospel names and a William. Let's see. Interesting. Candelabra. Ooh. The elaborate candelabra sticks in the mantle were originally from the Samuel Brown and Margaret Wylie House. They're the parents of the owners. Okay. And the milk painting stencils. Milk paint stencils. Someone did in 2009. To enhance the formal visiting area. So that's not to the house. So no. But so it would have been golden. The golden, ochre, yellow, and the red colors were 2 of the most common colors, and I know this from working at Pioneer Village in Toronto. The golden color was often very popular because this ochre would reflect the sunlight, making the room a brighter place. So a happy place. So it matches with the intention of this hallway, which is the grand entrance, to be so happy looking. I really love that. Okay, did we go to this side? I don't think we did. So I'm thinking in the olden days would have been a kitchen. I guess the kitchen is in there. There's a lot of rooms here though, aren't there? So definitely like a parlor style in this room. Ooh, more windows and mirrors, and this one's creeping on me. What's it showing us in the background? Can you guys see the reflection? It's the lobby that's reflected. Lots of neighbors all around. In the olden days, I don't think they would have been so close to the house. Let's see. Dining room table. Oh, guys, when I keep talking about my tea trolley, book. Talking about a book. Yeah, well, your names seem to be coming from the Bible, but this is like a tea trolley. See with the flaps up when I talked to you about picking up a flap? That's what I'm talking about. So that's their dining table. So that I'm using my tea trolley like a dining table. The only difference that I have wheels on mine. No, that has wheels too. I don't feel bad at all. Thank you, Wylie House, William, Luke, and John for showing me that I'm not pulling a fast one by using my tea trolley with the flap ups as my dining table. That's a dining table. So book. In the olden days, well, these are slates. The child's desk, 1840s. This desk was made locally in the 1840s for Theophilus and Rebecca Wylie's son, Richard. Oh. And there are some books here that out there, little garden. I love these drapes. They're gorgeous, actually. China press. The china and glass. Ooh, look at what's inside this cabinet. That's gorgeous. We don't get to see it. Wow. The real china set. And let's go look at the painting. Margaret Watson Wylie portrait. I have an aunt whose last name is Watson. I wonder if they're connected. They did come in and out of the States. Ooh. Hello, Margaret Watson Wylie. And what did it say about it? She was the mother of Theophilus and Wylie. So she's the grandma to this house. And wife to Samuel Brown Wylie. Oh, and their parents are the ones that had this desk made. Isn't that cute? And it's still there in good form. This kind of seems like a parlor to me. Ah, I like this little settee too. Dawn. Well, you definitely can see dawn and dusk through these windows. You're always having some kind of light at the first and end of every day. I think that's really beautiful. Unless your name is Dawn. Oh, look at the china too. I'm going to come closer. Look at all of this art and all the people. Theophilus Wylie portrait. Oh, so here we have him again. And the Parian pitcher. It's like a little cherub in there. This white Parian porcelain pitcher belonged to Margaret Wylie. Wow, one of the oldest and finest pieces that they have. Look, it's in good condition. With the crystal. Wow. Tassels. My mom loves tassels. I really love the drapery in here. I hope that's original to the place. Gorgeous colors. Reddick Wylie's desk. Reddick, born 1831 to 1904, was a son of Margaret and Andrew Wylie. Aww. He remained in Bloomington. Aww. So they have all desks for everybody who's studying. Margaret Wylie's writing Lap table. We have laptops. She has a lap table. Oh, and that was the wife. That was the mom. And so she really sat and wrote it that day. I wonder if spirits go on, if all their things are together in one room. It's like a whole family, 3 generations of their stuff in this room that they maybe can communicate. They were all writing desks. They were all educated. Main living space. Ooh, this is a family. So this was a big dining room at the time. The kitchen is next door. Largest room on the first floor. It was likely a multi-purpose space for Wylie family. Oh, isn't that neat? And there they all are. And see if that picture, that's his picture. That picture was there at that time with the family. Oh, there's the book. You talked about a book. What is this book? I can't see what's in it, but I do like how it's held open by this little reading table. Maybe that is the family Bible. It'd be kind of neat. Gateway. Is that a gateway? This room does have a lot of mirrors. One. Oh, it was. Oh, and then the reflective across from the mirror. Lots of windows on all sides. Could this be a gateway? I'm kind of feeling chills going over my shoulders, to be honest with you. It's a gorgeous room, and this book, maybe the book is a gateway. Maybe it's a family Bible. Are you able to tell me anything about it? Did you live here? Are you one of the family members? This pretty picture. All right, we're gonna head in. So this dining multi-purpose room, look at those little things that the tassels, aren't they pretty? This does look like an older fashioned, like this reminds me of Pioneer Village actually. I'm gonna go right in. This, what about this? That door, I was looking at the red door, I was very curious about it. And certain servants, if they had to, oh look, they have a servant there. I do know that the reason I chose this property, the Wylie House, is because they did have one servant who was an African-American lady. As a teenager, she was brought here and she lived in the attic. The attic's not part of the main tour, so I want to go up and show it because we can only see it virtually. And she lived there from the time she was a teenager until she died. And so maybe this is her. Maybe her spirit's in the tomb. Maybe she was done. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Look, everything from the windows are reflected in the glass. So many reflections. Ooh, that looks like a woman. Do you guys see this? I don't know, maybe I'm in the way. Let me see, I'm gonna put myself over here. That looks like a woman reflected. A woman wearing a dress that has a flower on the over the heart. What's on this side? Yeah, I'm not seeing a woman, although there's this apron. Maybe there's some kind of. Oh, and look at this. That's interesting. Stairwell for the servants, I guess. Do you guys see it? I think it's a play on these baskets with this herbs and this. I think that's what it is. So I'm going to debunk it. But let's see what this says. Wylie's high chair on it when they were babies. They sat in this and were fed here. Aww. That's cute. It was likely used by many of them. Yeah, that's true. Margaret Wylie's work table. So this is the original furniture to the property and has been handed down and used by all the generations. That's lovely. And the drying racks with all the herbs. You know I love doing that. I did that. Oh, and the eggs. I used to have to collect the eggs. I didn't collect potatoes though. Look at all these different things. There's lavender in here. Oh. I used to actually make candles using the a candle making thingy and the lard that you collect off of. Look, there's more books in the window. That's cute. Well, these are neighbors really close by now. I'm sure in the back of the day, in the 1800s, that would have been just farmland, like land. Look at all the drying rack with all the herbs. I do that actually, guys. It doesn't take more than just a tiny bunch to fill a whole glass jar. It really doesn't take much. So it's good. This is the 19th century kitchen, so the 1800s, located at the back or far end of the larger homes. Yeah, and Pioneer Village, if you guys in Toronto go to Pioneer Village, you're going to recognize this kind of stuff. The different jugs, the churns, butter churns. I love it. The bowls. The sink, that's your sink over there, guys. Dry sink. You had to bring the water to it and dump it out afterwards. And they got their water from a well. Killed. Aww. Who was killed here? I want to know that everybody was born, had a happy life with their family, and passed on. But you'll have to tell me about that, and I want to know who's speaking to me right now. I would like to know your name. Which one of you is telling me about someone being killed? Now, I know back in the day, offside rooms like this might have had the hay put down on the floor if a woman was giving birth to her children in her house. It might have happened in a room like this. Let me get over here and show you guys. Look, they have a little bathtub, a wash tub. Full baths were not common practice when the Wileys lived here. Young children could be fully bathed. The rest of you did, like, you know, the dry sink thing. Ooh, look at this. Sundial. They have a sundial from the 1840s. Original to the home and belonged to the first Wylie family that lived here. So that would be the grandparents. That's really cool. Oh, it is letting me come in here. So this might have been a place where some of these children were actually born in. Struck. So someone was killed by being struck? Can you please tell me who was killed by being struck here? That's sad. I hope it wasn't you. I hope you didn't do it. Brick and mortar. This is the brick and mortar. These would have been handmade clay bricks back in the 1830s, 40s and stuff. 8-foot width area, running the height of the home. Oh, and they put new mortar in, so they call it retucking when they pack in new mortar. So someone was killed by being struck. I need more information. I need to know who's telling me about this. Why are you telling me about this? This looks like a cabinet. It's a very thin cabinet. A trail. Someone was struck on a trail. Oh, I see. And at the time I was talking about how out there, look, there's pathways now. There's a pathway here that might have been older, but that might have been all farmland back in the day. So if there was a trail out there, someone was struck and killed. Like by one of the, would it have been by a passing horse and wagon? Or would it have been person to person? Because horse and wagons had a hard time stopping, and someone who was smaller definitely could have been hurt or run over. That happened in the wintertime a lot, and that's why you have all those bells on the horse reins. Look at this. This is a pie cabinet, everybody. So back when you didn't have fridges like we do now that plug in, this is tin, and then they punch out the tin holes so that flies can't get in at your pies and your baking, and they can dry in there and cool down in there without getting bugs in there. I really like these. These were a great invention. And the kerosene lamps. If you're too many hours with a kerosene lamp, you're going to feel sick. Barrels. It's interesting. I love that I know about this stuff. Augers up there on the wall. Okay, I'm coming out. Seed. Yeah, there might be seeds stored in there as well. Definitely. So we can re-sow. I know I help my family do things like that too. I don't know. Can I go in there? The cellar door. Ooh, cellar. Cellar is a full basement space underneath the home. It provided ample storage. Usually cellars would have been like a hole in the floor, and even in Pioneer Village, it's still dirt down there. It's really gross. So it's interesting that this family, well, they've had it for a few generations, that fixed it up. Now, you know I love these kind of, so when you modernized in the late 1800s, you would have gotten a beautiful cast iron oven like this. You'd still put the fire inside at the bottom and underneath here, and then cook and warm things. I've worked with one of these when I used to teach kids how to make jam. We'd go out, pick rhubarbs and strawberries in the spring, make a jam, and then whatever we were baking, we'd put the jam on the bread or the jam on the little cake. Okay, so we can't go out. This is just modern stuff. Very interesting, very interesting. So we can't go in through there. We're going to come back out. Oh, look at all the writing. You did say something about a book. Kitchens were located at the back. Okay. Yeah, so this is just documentations. We're in a box. Warm? Are you feeling warm? Where are you speaking to me from? Stairs to the guest room. Are we going up? It's not allowing me to. So let's head on out. Gorgeous china in the camera. We're going to head on out. Disease. Yeah, it's most likely people would have caught diseases this time period. I myself am doing a deep clean so that I don't get sick again, because I find that important. Oh. Okay. Let's see about this mural wall. It's so gorgeous. These colors are really nice. Insects. Diseases from insects. So that could be things like, well, there's a lot of them out there. You get, so maybe from mosquitoes or other bugs that were poisonous. But definitely John Thorne commissioned by the Wylie House to create a rendering. Very nice. But it was done in 2009. So they didn't have this back then. I should have known better, but it just looks so happy. Slight. All right. Can we go upstairs? Oh, again, when I try, it's not letting me. Let's go back. I'm going to try one more time to see if there's another point I can take. Let's get up there. The second story back porch. Oh, I love porches. This is a reproduction of the original one. It was originally restored in 1960s. Okay, is it letting me up? Ooh, it did let me up the stairs, though. Okay. That's all right. Second floor hallway. Top of main staircase looking down the hallway of the second floor. Okay. It's kind of neat that they do give us these descriptions. It makes it easier for me to tell you what we're up to. Okay, I'm disappearing. Let's get that fixed right now. Sorry, you're going to see me do a little bit of adjusting here. I don't know why that happens. Things are messing with my screens, interesting enough. Oh, I see what I did. You've got to get locked. So something keeps pushing my computer from screen capture. When I put it to game capture, it keeps going back to screen capture like a default. Messing with where I am in the room. Okay. And I want my dog with me, because we're not supposed to do this alone. Alright, slight. What is slight? These are narrow staircases, actually. And if you are sick with any kind of disease, I can attest that I've noticed even my cousins that are more slender than I would have trouble with things like pneumonia. They could like really be a near death experience. Wow, this is gorgeous. I don't know if this is what it looked like at the time. It looks like original floorboards, but spinning wheel, all of the fleece that needs to be spun, drop spindles over here. This would have been a room that I would have been working in, but I don't think upstairs rooms would be dedicated to this. This would be more like an attic thing. Oh, the needlework that you would do to practice your stitching and to show off so that you could find yourself a husband, to show you know all your stitches. These were samplers. Usually, girls and young women would also show that they were knowledgeable and trained in their faith by also using messages from the Bible. 8. What is the number 8 significant to you for? Is this a little, what is that? Swift is a tool used to assist in rolling a ball of yarn from a skein. Okay, so that's over there. So they've collected all of the things for... Oh, let's see what did she choose? Sampler Sarah. Oh, she already just said it was a sampler. So, okay. Yeah, usually it's like a little Bible verse or like a little motto, a saying. Let's see. Wylie family. All the books the family had. I don't know. I do like books. Lots of reflections in here. Lots of warpings of the windows. That looks pretty creepy. 8 what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess you put things on top. That would be 8. My grandparents' cabinet looks kind of similar to this, actually. the top edging there, yeah. The bottom's no, it's different. So this is all their stuff. They've got quilt samples, their books. Maybe there's probably music sheets in there because they did have more than one piano downstairs. What a collection. In Casa Loma, for those of you who care, they did take care. You can even see there's bookmarks in some of them. They did take care. This is gorgeous stuff. I used to have a collection of books from the 1800s from a professor that passed away. I donated most of them to the local library. I might have kept 1 or 2, just because they've been through so many hands. But, what was I going to tell you? In Casa Loma, if you go to Toronto, they used to have real books in there. Oh, it says roll. I do have to roll my mouse around. And I can tell you that it's all fake now. They just have a fake mock-up for the sake of the people that shoot films and videos and TV shows in there. But they sold them all to have money to keep the place running. And so their books in Casa Loma are all fake. It's just fake if you look closely, which I think is unfortunate. So in the spinning wheel, this large spinning wheel is a great walking wheel. Circa 1830. So what you would do is you'd stay on your feet, you'd roll this wheel, you'd spin it with your hand, and then you'd like walk away and walk back towards the spindle that would be collecting the wool here on this little, the pokey part. So this spindle thing, you know, the thing that put Sleeping Beauty to sleep? Yeah, maybe one of these. Maybe that was the kind of spindle. Now something's saying Dash. Now I know someone named Dash, but they are alive. Silhouettes or shadow portraits were a common means of capturing an individual's likeness. Okay, so these are like the cameos, members of their family. I'm thinking of Hitchcock right now, but this is something that they would do. And I know some schools when I was a kid, and they had those overhead things or a flashlight, and then they trace your outline of your shadow. So these are members of the family shadow portraits. And then you have your form, and then we would put it on a backing, and they would laminate them to make the placemats at graduation. They were wealthy if they had big matchsticks. Okay, we're going over here. Not letting us go in. Another view. This also holds wool, so it doesn't get grace. I'm seeing like faith and grace. I'm feeling like the children of this family, John and Luke, if those are members of the family or people who worked here, getting a lot of Bible names or like beatitude names. Look at this. This is modern, but then it's been through the family for many generations. I love that they kept foot roll. They kept their original family stuff, you know. It's just gorgeous, but I don't think that's how their room was really used back when they lived here. I think that's a collection of stuff they had that they used somewhere. So another bedroom. They have actually quite a lot of fireplaces to keep everybody warm. That's a luxury. I'm not sure that would have been there in the beginning or added in later. And blue was a luxury color. Red was a luxury color because red, white, and blue. White gets dirty quickly. Look at the floors. Yeah, they've covered the floors. Oh, so here's what it says on the floors. The boys' room. 5 of Andrew and Margaret's 7 boys moved into this home with them in 1835. Do we want to view more? Look at them. The eldest son was Andrew Wylie Jr., moved to East, and then the second eldest was William. Oh, and we've had a William greeted me first in the doorway. William, are you the one that's been talking to me all this time? Is this you as a child? The one with the beautiful golden, like, curly locks around your face? And that's... You jumped? I hope you didn't hurt yourself. I just need to move myself out of the way so people can see. William, you've been greeting me. You've been talking to me. You're this little guy here. Oh, maybe you like jumping around. And William died of typhus while a senior at Indiana College. I'm so sorry to hear that. Just prior to their move. So William, you've been trying to tell me about you. You had a beautiful home that you grew up in. Looks like you're surrounded by a lot of love. I'm glad you had this. And William, you're the first one. So your grandparents took over the home after your passing? And 4 of you were in the room at a time. So 1862 to 1864. Well, William, I'm glad you got me up here and told me to look down at the floor because I wouldn't have thought about it. And Samuel was the other one. Well, William, thank you for greeting me at the front door of the home. I had no idea, but I'm so happy to know. That's wonderful. More mirrors. Immersion. What were you? Well, I guess it's like a full virtual immersion for me. More mirrors. The basins. What's over here? Toys, marbles, top, whistle. Look, were these your toys? Is this what you and your brothers play with, the tops and the marbles? I've always loved marbles. Always loved watching spinning tops. So I like more other people making them spin instead of me. These were your things. That's so beautiful. I'm feeling like the tingles up my back of my ears, shoulders, and head. I'm just checking behind me. Yeah, everything's good. What else would you like to tell me if I can tell your story to the world, William? Um, what else would you like to say? So you did make it to adulthood. You were studying. You were all educated, males and females. These are nice panels. Actually, lots of windows everywhere, bringing in the light. Books by your beds. I don't know if that's just placed there. But the reds and the blues and the whites, you'd have to be wealthy to have colors like that window treatment. This is a reproduction. Fabrics representative of the time, so they may not have been yours, but something like that could have been here at the time. And look at these ropes. If anybody's noticing the ropes, let me move myself out of the way again. The ropes that we're seeing here on the beds, if you see where I'm, oh, maybe you can't see here, where I'm circling. When people say sleep tight, what they're saying is before you get into bed, pull these ropes tight because there were ropes instead of metal springs holding up your mattresses. That back then probably stuffed with dried corn cob ears. And you have to pull these tight so you don't fall through, because otherwise you're going to be sagging, having a bad back in the morning, or crooked neck in the morning, which you won't like. And then don't let the bed bugs bite because your mattress was full of dried corn husks. And so it's a nice warm insulated place for them to crawl into as well. I'm glad I know that. Giving people a tour of, I used to be a tour guide, Pioneer Village, just to say. So we're going to head out this way. William, I'm so glad to have discovered and seen a picture of you when you're a beautiful little boy with your beautiful curly locks. I had curly blonde locks as well when I was a kid. Okay, smaller room. Yeah, there were not, nobody would ever really get their own by themselves. And another mirror. Actually, mirrors are kind of making me feel things. Look at this, a tiny little cast iron oven, to bring in the little logs and sticks to keep you warm overnight. Wow, that's really cute. Doug, as in D-U-G. Oh, we can't go up the stairs, but attic. This is, I think, the place I came to this house for, at the Wylie House, to see where that the little house servant worked since she was a teenager to the end of her life. These stairs are so narrow and steep, and that is why they don't do tours up here, but we will get a chance at the end of this little ghosty hunt to see what it looks like. And I'm sure, William, you wouldn't have been allowed to go up there because that would have been improper. I'm quite sure she was a proper lady with these hoops and graces. Hoops and graces. Oh, I kept seeing the name Grace. Hoops and graces is the 19th century ring toss game. The rings are tossed and caught with a pair of sticks. I've seen this in cartoons, but never done in real life. I'm seeing there's a lot of activity. Was this your favorite game, William? Oh, hello, Marissa. I don't know who you are or where you're from, or if you really are Marissa. Marissa, what story would you like to tell? I met William. I know a bit of his life story now. I think when he first greeted me, I didn't realize he was a little boy who grew up in the home and to early adulthood here, and that he loved hoops and graces. He's been telling me about Grace. So you must have loved catching the hoop, William. I don't know who Marissa is, but we're going to keep going. Look at the outdoor porch. It's so cute. It's so cute. Now, I don't think that people were this close to the house, but there's that path. They talked about a path. And you were saying about Doug. Secondary floor, front porch. Front porch provides a beautiful view of the neighborhood. And magnolia tree. This is a magnolia tree. Interesting. I don't remember the meaning of, but okay, so we're gonna do this for a second. So the attic and the two garage spaces for storage and one finished room. So the one finished room is the reason why I picked the Wylie House for us to take a look at. Used as a bedroom. The attic, this would have been where they would have laid out all the corn husks in the fall, September, October, to dry out, to restuff new mattresses for the season. There's a hatch to the rooftop porch, commonly referred to as the widow's walk. If you've ever seen like a square patch cut out of a roof, and they usually call that a widow's peak, so this must be a tiny one. Wally's could view the stars. Astronomy was studied by many of the family members. Isn't that interesting that they looked to the stars? From the widow's walk, they could also survey the length of their farm property to the east IU's original campus to the west. Oh, that's where he was going to school. Oh, it's too bad he passed away. William, I'm sorry about that. Downtown Bloomington to the south. So yeah, all that we're seeing in the neighbors today. Marissa, this name lingers. Why is this significant? Why is this a significant name? We can't go up to the attic. So let me just see. I think there's one bedroom we haven't been in yet. And I'm feeling like tingles again. So many mirrors and windows. But back in the day, I wouldn't have thought of that as a spooky thing or a channeling thing. Look at the beautiful fan. There's a bit of culture here. There's a bit of money here to have little things like that. Sight. And this is a gorgeous bedspread, by the way. A sight. So for seers, maybe trying to tell me something about that. Here's the window. I'm keeping myself out sight. I don't know. Another gorgeous cast iron oven to replace the fireplaces of old. I mean, it did pass through many generations of the family. Oh, and there's an iron in there getting heated so you could do your clothing. There's a cabinet. Clothing press. Oh, they kept, yeah. Okay, it's not very deep. There's a step stool to get in and out of the beds, I guess. Or up and down in the cabinet. Another mirror. Look at the doll clothing on the bed. It looks like somebody just like whacked down. Lots of dolls. So we're getting into the creepy part, guys. I don't really want to look at the dolls, but there's a doll with this little tea set. And there's another mirror. There's there mirrors on every wall. This doll's gonna creep me out, but let's go. Alright, let's go back over this way. Let's look at this. The Ladies' Own magazine. To have things with like paper, magazine stuff, you've got a little bit of money. And that little fancy thing, that would have been done on one of those presses where you ink it and then press down. It looks like that. There's the barn bonnet. The doll. Civil War era doll. This doll was owned by Mary Valentine McCullough, granddaughter of Andrew and Margaret Wylie. Yeah, it was because the grandparents did take over the house after the loss of William. Aww. They creep me out. But there is a story about the dolls too. Back in the day when you didn't have models on... oh, you have a question? Please ask your question. I will be happy to answer if I know. But I can tell you about the dolls. They actually were sent overseas, like, instead of magazines, to show miniature versions of the fashions you could order and have made for you in adult or child size, like human size. But the dolls were the fashion high models. Savannah. Is this the name of the doll? Or a name of a child who played with the doll after Mary? You'll have to let me know the significance of the name Savannah. Oh, and I let go, and that doll just kept on. It kept on keeping on. Okay, we're going to go this way. So those dolls were actually, those ceramic face dolls, or porcelain face dolls, were the supermodels showing the fashion of the day for the adults to purchase. And they have some fancy clothes here. Let me tell you, satin slippers, fancy lace gloves, that lace in the parasol. I love that the olden day, the olden day umbrellas. Let me just move myself out of your way here. They have those spiky things on them. This pokey ends. That's very, that could help you pick up something you dropped or poke someone away. Do you want a beautiful bonnet? Basket with flowers. And hang on, I want to look at the window. Look, that's a gorgeous little box there. Or a book. So here we're coming to a room with a stair. Oh, the stairs that go down into the kitchen. This must be where they come up from. Let's just take a look. Yep, that's the red door for the kitchen. Stairs to guest room. So this is where the guest rooms go. They would never have put a guest beside a daughter's bedroom with it. That door would have had to have been locked, or the boys were in there. They would not put guests beside a girl back in the day. No way. There's another beautiful book. This is the guest room. And adults could stay in here. Love the little fireplace again. Looking at the consistency in the poster beds. Savannah, what would you like to tell us? You had a question, or you have a question about Savannah? Gorgeous book. Interesting. Let's take a look. Oh, it's just pictures of their landscape. It's pictures of their land. Maybe those were the views back in the day before all the neighbors built in. Loving the quills and the ink. Again, an educated household. Both the guys and the girls, sons and daughters, were educated. This is a trundle bed, so this would have tucked under the bed with the high legs out of the way until you had more people that needed a place to sleep. So your guests pull this out and you have more people in the room sleeping. Let's look at this little child's training toilet. Look at that, guys. That's the honey pot down at the bottom there. That's the basin, right? Where you do your business. So they sat on a little chair. So for potty training. That's so cute. I don't know. It's so cute. It amuses me. All right. Hang on. I want to... Theophilus Wylie's pipe. Hang on. It's his pipe that... Oh, it's carved. Oh, look. It has a T and a W. It also looks like there's an A there. Ta design. Okay. Interesting. That's cute. Okay. Then they kept it. So household things not removed from the household after all the generations. Look at all the little wooden pull toys. You pull them with a string. The little rubber duckies on wheels. That's so cute. Another mirror, and this one is old for sure. Look at all of the rust in it. I'm seeing something. Oh, this is reflected in it. It's messing with my mind. The basins. Love the trundle bed. See if we can get over here. Look at the... Oh, we're back to that balcony, but look down here. Oh, if you can see it. It looks like an iron, but it's like a doorstop, and it's made of like cast iron. Very good, very good. So we're back outside here. Can't go in there. Oop. Where did I just go? It's a nice view. Okay. We're going to come back in. Love all the different sizes of chairs for people to sit on and rock about. Okay, we've been in everything that's here. We can't go up to the attic from here. We're going to head back out. Oh, apparently not. Wait, we were already in here where we discovered where William played. We can't go upstairs, so we're going to head this way. The gorgeous... Okay, did we go out this way? So this is facing a different route. It's not letting us out, but look at those keys. Those are great. So I don't know how... Okay, so we have to flip to a different spot in order to see the attic room that was an actual room. I'm going to bring us here. There is an outside tour, but I'm not sending us to that. Oh, let's talk about the plant. Christmas cactus. A real picture. Christmas cactus is a Wylie family heirloom. It's over 100 years old. The family as it lived here when William was here had this cactus, and it's still alive, welcoming you right at the front door. That's wonderful. Now it's saying go upstairs. Yes, we are going to go to the attic, but what I have to do to see it, so thank you if that's William telling me how to find the upstairs bedroom that's finished in the attic. This is what I came here for, the Wylie House. What you're going to see me do, guys, though, float. You can float. Unfortunately, I can't. Well, I guess technically my virtual self, we can float. Woo-hoo. But my physical form has to do this virtually. So I think what I'll do, you can float and I'll meet you up there. I have to actually switch our gears. It's not going to look so pretty, but here it is. I want to give us a better experience, so I'm going to see if I can try to enlarge this a bit, because this is the only... We're just going to talk about what we can see as best we can. Angelina. Who is Angelina? Is Angelina greeting me? Is this your room? We're going to find out the name. She's in the poster here. The lady that lived here since she was a teenager. I wanted to read you part of her story. And to do that first, let's try to bring this up as big as I can. Do that a little more. Sorry that you're seeing me do this. I mean, it's not the most elegant way to do a ghost hunt or a spirit hunt or a spirit walk, but We're trying. So in my own virtual way, I've floated us up into the attic, where I think it was William telling me to go upstairs to find her finished room. So amongst the attic rooms that were used for the storage and the drying of the corn husks and things like that, what you do have is this finished space. So if you can remember, let's move it here, that narrow staircase from the hallway with the hoops and grace, the game that William liked to play as a child, where the hoop goes rolling and you use the sticks to try to catch it. This is the other side of that tiny stairwell. Went? Where did you go? Where did you go? And this is the lady. I think that's her picture. And if we move a little this way, so she had, I'm trying to move us to see as much of this photo as we can. So it's just a small space around the little portion of the attic that was turned into a room for her. So as we look at that, I'm going to stand myself on the other side now, because that, oh, it keeps doing that. Every time I close the screen and go to the game capture, it flips back on me. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go over here and know that I believe that's a portrait of her, the girl that spent her lifetime here as a domestic for the Wylie family. But let's see. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about it while we look it over. And if you see anything I don't notice, you can tell me in the comments below. So, it's a 19th century attic room. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted you guys to see this. Oh, shoot. So, well, I'm going to do that so you guys can't see what I'm up to. Sort of ish. I'm trying to workshop it. Hang on a second. So I want to read to you a little bit about it. And I'm sure, William, you never would have gone up these stairs, or you shouldn't have, unless you and your brothers are being sneaky on it. So this space was provided to a girl named Elizabeth, or they called her Lizzie Breckenridge. She was a African-American woman who lived in the house in the role of domestic servant to Theophilus and Rebecca Wylie family. For she was here for more than 50 years, and this was her only living space of her own. 50 years, more than, from 1857 at the age of 14 to the end of her life in 1910. The word is master. You would have been called Master William if you were unmarried, and I guess they're your masters if you were the domestic. I guess that would be true. That would have been the language of the day. The Theophilus Wylie would have been your master. Sarah. I don't know who Sarah is. Is this Sarah? Is there something you want me to know about a Sarah? Okay, so Elizabeth, love the name. Breckenridge. Wow, this was a lifetime, and this was her home for that whole lifetime. The attic room, inaccessible in regular tours because of the steepness of those stairs, and they're so narrow and tiny. She must have been tiny. And let me see. And so, embark. It says embark. You want to go somewhere. So they used different accessibility technology to launch Elizabeth Breckenridge's exhibit, using objects to tell her story. She was among the few black residents of the early Bloomington area, and she was the daughter of Hannah McCaw, who is believed to have led efforts at the local Underground Railroad up until recently. Okay, this attic room was believed to be Lizzie's, was not accessible to guests for safety reasons, so you have to access it using a remote virtual tour. I'll see if that will work. Wylie's House Extended Virtual Tour provides accessibility to those who are unable to physically visit the two-story home, as well as individuals who benefit from audio guidance. And you can use keyboard navigation. Well, that's what we've kind of been doing. Um, wow, we're trying. And they said, did this trunk belong to Lizzie? So where are you saying embark? She does look like she has a travel trunk that they saved. Um, that is made of fabric. She just had a single bed and a rug, a table, and a side table. One rack for her clothes. Faith. We're seeing Faith again. She must have been a person of faith. Um, she spent most of her life living with and working as a domestic servant for the Theophilus Wylie family. Workers. She was definitely a worker. Primary source materials held at the Wylie Home Museum were used to select objects for her room to bring her experience to life. So we don't know that the room we're seeing even was what she had. Shoulder is the shoulder bag. The pine trunk at the foot of the bed is covered with deer hide and the initials EB. So she had a deer hide trunk and it had riveted into the lid. So with the brass tacks. No evidence in the Wylie collection that the trunk belonged to her, but it does have the initials. So they restored the house. So people can do free walk-in tours. Wednesdays through Saturdays float. You're floating again? Are you floating again? So they basically pick pieces for a room based on research. She had an antique desk. She had a telescope. So she was interested in science. And there was a picture on her bedstand, I know you guys aren't seeing it, of someone named Vinnie Williams. Oh, we have seen William more than once. I thought I was talking to the little boy. I'm not sure now. Lizzie referred to Vinnie, who lived much of her life in Bedford, Indiana, as her grandmother. So she knew who her mother and grandmother were. Very little is known about her childhood. She first appears in 1850 on a federal census as Elizabeth Breckinridge, as an 8-year-old daughter of Hannah Breckinridge. So maybe someone spoke with an accent and people were just writing the way they heard it. Her birth date is recorded as July 5th, 1843 in Bedford, Indiana, a town approximately 30 miles south of Bloomington, which was the city closest to the family's home at the time. Interesting. So she had, or someone found and placed in this room a picture of her grandmother. I'm seeing float again. And I do feel my air around me, but I have my windows open in every room in my place except the kitchen today, airing things out. Although they're... Living. Do you have living relatives? Are they out there? So I'm going to just attempt remote virtual tour to see if this is... okay, so we've already done the remote virtual tour, so we've seen as much of the attic as we can see. Wow, can you imagine your whole lifetime having just a little tiny modest space for yourself, and every day you're working for another family? No mention of whether she married, no mention of whether she had kids. She spent her whole life just with them. Is that a lie? It's telling me a lie. Which is the lie? I'm not trying to lie. I'm trying to sort of piece together what little I know without having done research first. I don't want to research first before I look through these houses. I know so many ghost hunters are out there and they do their research and all, but shove. You're telling me someone was shoved again. Do you think she was shoved down the stairs? These are pretty dangerous looking stairs, to be honest. You have to go slow. There isn't even a handrail for them, just the walls. Can't imagine how awkward that would be if you get to be a bigger person, or when you're older and your knees are shot, how you get up and down without having a dizzy spell or a slip and fall. That would be pretty awful. I hope nobody shoved her. Well, So this is all we get to see, and it's not really what she had, it's more a recreation of, but you can see very modest ownings. But interesting that she had an interest with the telescope. But then the family were stargazers, so I wonder how that extends. Well, any spirits that have been accompanying me here through the ghost hunting box that have been speaking to us today, if you can, I'm going to be leaving now, and you will have to stay where you came from. If you came through the Wi-Fi signals with me to communicate, please go back to where you came from. If you're from around me and just an intelligence that is watching what I'm doing and commenting, I would like you to go back from whence you came. Only good things, only positive things, only well-meaning, positive, good energy sources, guardian angels may stay. My family may stay. Everyone else must leave. No, it says chest. Lizzie's chest or my chest? I'm not sure which you'd like to tell me, but this is your last chance to give me a message or for me to tell something of your story. William, if that has been you, who's greeted me fingers, that's interesting. I'm actually holding my fingers like a steeple right now over my breastplate, so that's interesting. And that was because you mentioned the heart, which I've had some damage to lately, so maybe you're feeling out me and what I'm doing right now, you tattletale. I want to say thank you to any spirits, guardian angels, and such that have helped us to make this little virtual tour interesting. And I'll ask you to go back to where you came. If you see a light, if there has been a light out there for you, please go through it so that you can go to the other side and have peace and happiness and forgiveness and find all your family and reunion and be joyful and have a blessed eternity. And anything negative, please leave. You are not welcome to be here. You're not allowed to touch me. You're not allowed to enter me. You're not allowed to be present in my home. You must leave. And I will also be smudging with my San Paulo sticks as soon as I'm done here talking to our viewers. So this is Venus Kalita, my little doggy, baby Kane, coming with me to see if there's anything you guys noticed or thought of or felt while you were watching this episode. Please put it in the comments below. I'd be curious. And William, I want to thank you and hope that you're in peace if you are in your home because you're happy in your home. God bless you. And if you would like to be with your family, please go to the other side. Find the light. Go to the light. I love that I had your story and got to see your young face when you were little with those cute curls. We had that in common when I was little. I had little blonde curls too. And I love to know that you love to play hoops and grace. And I didn't know that grace was part of a game. A game I've seen people, I always just called it hoops. Hoops and grace. So very nice. Thank you very much. Be at peace. Any spirit that needs to be at peace. Thank you for causing no harm. Thank you for respecting my boundaries. Please go with God. Or please go back to whence you came. You may not follow me here. I always find it interesting that they say the reason why there are less sightings of ghosts than in the olden days, not just because we're less superstitious, but because we're using all of the airwaves that with our Wi-Fi signals and our TVs and our cell phones and our smartphones and all of that we're taking away the waves, that the frequencies they rode on in order to communicate. So thank you for communicating, greeting us right from the door, William, up to your favorite toy and your picture of you with two of your brothers. So very sweet and heartwarming. Well, this ends our little ghostly tour of the Wylie House. Thank you, Indiana University and your team for providing this to us. Thank you, Michelle Crow, for the article to provide us with at least this picture here of the attic where one young lady lived practically her whole lifetime. The last word I'm seeing here is breath or breathe. Yes. I am so happy to say that my voice is almost back to normal and I haven't really coughed much during this episode, that I've been able to easily breathe and I have been healing, and with my deep clean that it's easy to breathe. Well, I am going to be turning off my little Alice box now. If there's any last thing you would like to say, please share it now. You have 5 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I will be shutting you off now. Thank you for your time. I'm going to shut you off. Oh, and before I do, take my pictures. Yep, taking my pictures. All right. And now we're going to go. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day. Be at peace, be comforted, be rested. And I've turned it off. I'm actually feeling really like the warm fuzzies that the first words that came through were 3 guys' names. Maybe those were the 3 brothers. No, there were different names, or one was William. I think the third of the 3 was William. And was it John, Luke, and William? And William turned out to be the second brother in that photo who stayed in that bedroom upstairs. And he told me to look at the floor, and on the floor was the little sticky that I had to touch to see his name right there as one of the 3 brothers who lived in that room. I think that's just awesome. Honestly, that's just awesome. So, yeah, we went the wrong way. So here it is. Our ghost hunting session is done. And I want to just go back. So that's William's dad. Hard to see in that photo, but we'll bring him up. We'll bring him up. There we go. Hi, William's dad. And I'm just happy that this family seemed to have had, I mean, everyone has their ups and downs. Nothing's perfect, but they seem to have had a good life, provided a good life for their kids. And they've gone through some heartbreaks, and the world has grown up around them. Their neighbors are so much closer to their home than they ever used to be. But I really feel happy that there is a lot of stuff of the family together, generationally, and it's still together. It was preserved, they used it, and they saved it, and they respected it, and I think that's awesome. So everything, I would like to say thank you and have a wonderful evening. It's going to be Gamers Night tonight. I'm going to take myself a very short break because it's supposed to start in a half an hour. I've been on my butt a lot today, although I've also been up on my feet a lot today too. But yeah, see what happens when you keep things clean, you keep them well prepared, and you keep them refurbished, and you can have them for many lifetimes. All right, everyone. This is Venus Kalita. And Baby Kane, and we're leaving the Wylie House. Another great adventure done. Have a wonderful day out there. You deserve it. Sleep well, sleep dreams, and I'll see you next time. I can't believe this Christmas cactus is over 100 years old. Who knew a potted plant would last that long? Again, because the family took care of it. All right.